In this Burnout Extra, I'm going to show you how to replace your brake pads on a 2011 Ford Escape, because you don't want them looking like this, because there's no more pad on this brake pad. You want like a thick, nice pad part. This is not good. So I'm gonna show you how to replace your pads. It's a very easy process and something that you can do right at home in your driveway with just a few simple tools. Step one would be taking off the tire and taking off the lug nuts. These ones were a 19mm socket, and it's best to use an impact. So here we have an air compressed impact. However, any impact will get these lug nuts off, or a lug nut wrench, something like that. Make sure the car is either off the ground or jacked up in some way so that you can get the tire off safely and easily. And then from there, you can start working on the brakes. There's a little rubber cap that actually goes right to the caliper. These just kind of pop off like so. And once again, that goes right inside there. So there will be one at the bottom of the caliper and one at the top. So what I have is a size 7 Allen socket that goes right inside there. Grab a ratchet or an impact if you have one. What you're doing here is you're actually loosening the caliper from the brake bracket that is right here. This holds the pads in. However, this is the caliper that actually tightens the pads. So you're removing the caliper from the bracket with these 2 Allen bolts. After you've removed the 2 Allen bolts from the caliper in the back, you're going to remove this spring. This is not really super tight. However, it is in there pretty good, and it holds the pads and caliper together in the front. So I recommend a pair of pliers or a screwdriver to ultimately just pry it out. And if you have a new kit for some new pads, it will come with this spring. I kind of just pried off of the caliper and was able to grab it with the pliers. Ultimately, it just pops out of the holes and rests on this bracket here, so it should be easy to remove. What I'm about to do next is take out 2 bolts here and up here. These are 18mm, and these ultimately will either need a pry bar or an impact to get them off. And this goes to the brake bracket. And once again, that'll take everything off from here. So what I'm gonna do is kind of whack this socket on, and then I'm gonna hook up an impact to that and buzz it off. Once you've removed these 2 18mm bolts from the back of this bracket, now it should be able to just pop right off of the side of the rotor with the caliper. You'll see the whole thing slide right off the side of the rotor. Try not to let it dangle because you don't want to snap this rubber brake line hose that's tucked up in there. So what I typically do is just rest it right on the top so that nothing is too tight on that. At this point, it is easier to work on the pads and the brake caliper when the rotor is not in place. So you should be able to just slide the rotor right off of these lugs right here. However, this one's actually pretty stuck on. Sometimes they get corroded around the center cap. So what I have is a metal mallet, and ultimately I'll smack the rotor right about here. This won't damage the rotor too bad unless you're over hitting it, but once again, that will pop the corrosion out and ultimately make the rotor loose. There it is. You should be able to knock the pads and the bracket off of the caliper if it's stuck on. Mine here is stuck on, so I'm just gonna tap these pads out, and the bracket should once again come with some of it. So that's the old pad and this is the bracket. And then this pad will actually pop out of the caliper itself. So what I'm gonna do is pull this down. Those 3 little prongs should pull right out of the caliper piston. This is ultimately what pushes down to make your brakes tighter. Now, one thing I do like to do is actually reuse the old pad to push this piston back up. So right now it is compressed down as if the brakes were on. However, you want it all the way up for when you install the new pads, because the new pads will be much thicker than your old ones. What I'm gonna do is pop this old pad back into place. And what I have here is a brake spreader tool. If you don't have one of these, you can actually just use a long screwdriver and kind of pry down like this, and that will push the piston back in. You should be able to push it no problem with a little bit of leverage. But this is a brake spreader tool, and what it's used for is going right inside here. I'm using this top part on the old brake pad and this shelf part right on the outside of the caliper. And I'm just gonna tighten this so that it screws in and pushes in. You can see this boot kind of collapses down as I tighten. I actually like to go as far as the piston will let me go. So I'll open the piston all of the way because that will once again make it even easier when I'm putting it back on. However, you also have to note that once you get in the car to drive away, you will actually have no brakes at first because these pistons are all the way open, especially if you've done this to both sides. So while in park, you want to make sure that you pump the brake pedal about 3 to 5 times. That will ultimately allow this piston to once again compress to the right strength that you need to stop the car. So don't drive away until you've pumped that brake a few times, especially if you've opened this all the way up. For now, we're gonna go on to installing the new pads. When it comes to installing the pads on the brake system, I actually put a little bit of grease on the back of the pad, as well as a little bit of grease on the piston inside the caliper. That ultimately prevents corrosion and allows it to slide a little bit better. So once this pad is ready, this is the one with the 3 prongs. This actually goes directly into the caliper. So that one just pops into place just like that. And same thing with this other pad. I actually took a little bit of grease and put it on the back, as well as the inside of this caliper bracket here. So once again, I'll just put that into place and make sure you're following the curve of the caliper. That's important too. At this point, what I did was I grabbed a little bit of grease and put it inside the brake bracket. If these are not clean, you can see that I sandblasted this to make it look nicer and ultimately let the pads slide more easily. If you don't have a sandblaster, you can use sandpaper and just get that corrosion away the best you can. What you want is these 2 pad spots right here to ride correctly inside this bracket. That's ultimately what you're going for. So like I said, if you can clean up this bracket and then put a little bit of grease, that will help a ton as well. And then you can set it right down in like so. These Allen bolts that actually go to the caliper should thread right into the bracket. While it's out of the spot, I'm actually gonna get those bolts caught. This is actually a size 7 Allen wrench, and I'm just using a ratchet and socket because I have it with me. Once this is good to go, you can actually grab your new brake rotor and you can put that on. I actually put a little bit of grease around here as well. That prevents corrosion there so that the next time the rotor comes off, it's actually easier to get off. But this I'll hang on the side for now. Put this rotor on. If you need it to hold in place, you can actually thread on a lug nut, but I'll just leave it loose for now. And then grab your brake caliper and slide it right over the side of the rotor. At this point, you need to grab the 2 bolts that go behind this caliper and thread them in. So this is almost the exact place that the caliper goes, and you want to take these 2 big bolts and ultimately put them through the back of the bracket. This is one of the first things we took off originally, and this will hold this entire assembly in place. Once you have the back 2 bolts holding in the bracket in place and they're nice and tight, you want to tighten up the 2 bolts that go to the caliper part. Once again, that's a 7mm Allen wrench, and I used a ratchet and socket for that one with an Allen wrench end. But you want to make sure those 2 are tight, make sure that the bracket 2 are tight. It'd be good to hit the bracket ones with an impact. The Allen ones, you can just get really tight with your hands. However, maybe hit it with a light impact as well. And then the final thing to do from here would be put on this front spring. This spring right here actually sits on the inside of this platform right here, as well as these 2 parts going into the holes of the caliper. So once again, it's going to kind of look something like this. However, these are going to be in the holes of the caliper. So what I used here is a needle nose pliers and actually a screwdriver for some leverage. But ultimately, you need to snap these two into place and then have these outsides be against the bracket. It's important to note that once you put the tire back on, tighten the lug nuts and everything like that, you actually need to get in the car and pump the brake pedal before you do anything. So you can see that the rotor is loose right now. That's because the piston inside the caliper is not actually compressing, which is how you stop the car. So if you get in the car and you go to drive away, you actually won't have brakes unless you pump it a few times because we opened the piston all the way. I know I mentioned that earlier in the video, but it's definitely important to know before you drive away. You should be good to go. You can put on the tire, tighten the lug nuts down accordingly, and then you are good on this 2011 Ford Escape brake pads change. So thank you for following along. Hopefully this helped on your car. It's very similar for a lot of other cars, and we have plenty of repairs like this on our channel. So be sure to check it out. If not, visit us at burnoutshow.com to find more information about the show, merchandise, and other things like that. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this helped, and we'll see you next time.